Hello everyone, welcome to Azka Online Tutors. Today we're going to learn about the human gas exchange system. Do you ever wonder what actually happens when we breathe? We breathe in and out all day every day, but we rarely think what is happening inside our body. Where does the air go? How does oxygen reach the cells? And how does carbon dioxide leave our body? Let's learn it step by step. First, we need to know what the respiratory system is. Its main job is very simple. It brings oxygen into the body and removes the carbon dioxide. When we breathe in, we take in air that contains oxygen, and our body needs this oxygen to release energy from the food. At the same time, our body produces a waste gas called the carbon dioxide. So when we breathe out, we remove this carbon dioxide. You need to remember that when we inhale, we take in oxygen, and when we exhale, we take out the carbon dioxide. Now the big question is, how does oxygen actually travels from the air to our body cells? Let's follow the journey of air inside the body. When you breathe, air first enters through your nose or mouth. It enters through the nose. It goes into the nasal cavity. Here the air is warm, it is filtered, and it is made moist. This helps us protect the lungs from the disease, dust, and germs. From the nose or mouth, the air travels to the throat, pharynx, and then it passes through the larynx, which is also called the voice box. After that, the air enters trachea, which is also known as the windpipe, and the trachea is a tube that carries air down into the chest. The trachea splits it into two tubes called the bronchioles. One goes to the left lung and the other goes to the right lung. Now these tubes are kept open by the rings of cartilage so they don't collapse. Inside the lung, each bronchi divides into the smaller and smaller tubes called the bronchioles. So you can think of a tree. The trachea is a trunk, bronchi is big branch, and bronchioles are the small branches. At the end of these tiny tubes are very small air sacs called the alveoli, and this is where the most important process happens. So what are the alveoli? They are the tiny sacs into the lungs, and there are millions of them in our lungs. Even though each one is very small, but together they create a huge surface area. So this is where the gas exchange takes place. What is the gas exchange? You know that oxygen enters the blood and carbon dioxide leaves the body or the blood. But how does this movement happen? It happens by the process of diffusion. Diffusion means the particles move from a place where there is more of them to where there are less. Now let's break it down simply. When you breathe in, the alveoli are full of oxygen, and the blood coming to the lungs has less oxygen. So the oxygen moves from the alveoli into the blood. And at the same time, the carbon dioxide, the blood has carbon dioxide, which is a waste gas, and the alveoli have less carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide moves from the blood into the alveoli, and then we breathe it out. So the oxygen goes into the blood, carbon dioxide goes out of the blood, and this is how the body gets oxygen and remove the waste gas, that is carbon dioxide. Now, why are these alveoli so efficient? So they are moist, which helps gases dissolve and move easily. They are surrounded by tiny blood vessels called the capillaries, which carry blood close to the ear. And there are millions of alveoli giving a very large area for gas exchange. Their walls are only 1 cell thick, so the gases do not have to travel far. And all of this combined together makes gas exchange fast and efficient. Now let's have a quick recap. When we breathe in, the air enters through the nose or mouth. It goes through the trachea. It enters the bronchi, moves into the bronchioles, and reaches the alveoli. In the alveoli, the oxygen moves into the blood, carbon dioxide moves out of the blood, and then we breathe out our carbon dioxide. So this is the whole process of diffusion. Thank you for watching the video. Hope you liked it.